Sigma males occupy a top spot in the socio-sexual hierarchy, right next to alpha males, but sort of outside the hierarchy altogether. They're some of the most efficient workers out there, and some of the decade's wealthiest men are Sigma. And when it comes to the ladies, not even the dominant alpha can keep up with a Sigma's charm. Welcome to Dream Thinker, where we focus on the psychology of personality. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can be notified whenever we release new content. Here are 10 strategies Sigma males naturally use to succeed at life. Number 1. They think for themselves and always ask questions. Sigma males don't do something just because someone said it's the right thing to do, not even if everyone says it is. They revisit all their beliefs, habits, and thought patterns and adjust them according to their goals. I'm talking about tradition, religion, education, everything. It's important to understand that Sigma males unintentionally go against the herd just for the sake of it. They just find their purpose, set their goals, and move towards them with complete disregard to where the herd is moving. If the herd is going the same way, cool. If not, doesn't matter. Sigmas have their own taste in music, food, fashion, and art, regardless of what's trending or the general public opinion, regardless of how many people they think would judge them for it. They look within, determine what they like, what they enjoy, and stick to it. This is perhaps the hardest thing to do, but it's also the defining characteristic of Sigmas. Not everyone can ignore friends and family's advice and go their own way. Peer pressure can sometimes be overwhelming. Even alpha males are prone to crumbling under it, but Sigmas aren't. Doesn't matter if everyone calls them crazy. If they believe in what they're doing, they keep doing it, and if they don't, they'll walk away. Number 2. Sigmas put their goals and happiness first. Even though they can fit well into society, and they can be sensitive and sympathetic, Sigma males always self-prioritize. Altruism is among the least likely virtues you'd find in a Sigma male, and they're not afraid to admit that. They say things like, "I'd love to make my parents proud, but I gotta put myself first. And hitting the company's target would be great, but I gotta put more time in my personal development and growth." Number 3. Sigma males abandon companionship in order to achieve their goals. This doesn't come from an antisocial mentality or introvertism, but the fact that Sigmas are hyper-aware that companionship comes with responsibilities, which might slow them down. They think about it like having a fulfilling relationship can make them satisfied with their life enough that they don't strive to achieve great things. But if they're alone, all their energy will be focused on themselves. If they absolutely want to get into a relationship, they make sure boundaries are set, and they draw a clear line between their personal goals and the relationship, and they make sure their partner respects that line. Sigma is the only guy who says no to the Saturday night party because they gotta hustle on the weekends. Sometimes, people think Sigma males are a bit ruthless because they're willing to do anything to get to their destination, regardless of who might get hurt in the way. Number 4. They're brutally honest. Sigma males don't lie. And it's not because some code of honor or because they're scared they'll get caught. But if you think about it, why do people lie? To make themselves look better, to hide a mistake or a failure they've made, or to protect someone's feelings and spare their pain. Sigmas don't really care about any of these things, so they just have no reason to lie. They have no regard for things like title and age either. They're humble and they treat everyone equally, with respect and honesty. They don't sugarcoat stuff to make it sound better. They just tell it as it is, and if it hurts someone, too bad, it's still the truth. Number 5. Sigmas are independent. They never rely on anyone for any basic necessities. This means Sigmas usually have multiple income streams, or at least have a plan B in case their current income stream is jeopardized, so they don't rely solely on their employer for making a living. They're also competent in basic life skills, like cooking and cleaning, and they're independent psychologically and emotionally. Yes, they can enjoy the company of their family, friends, or spouse, but if they're not there, no problem. They never accept being threatened, something along the lines of, "If you don't get in line, I'll fire you." They don't succumb to brute authority, and they're not afraid of being fired because they have other options. Sigma males work because they like it, not because they have to. Number 6. Sigma males never compete or compare themselves to anyone. They compete only with their past selves. While alpha males are super competitive because they always want to prove to the pack that they're better than everyone and establish themselves as the alpha in the hierarchy, sigmas don't really care. They look at their own progress and they don't concern themselves with titles like top performer or employee of the month. If they do get it, cool. If not, no problem, as long as they're learning and improving. In fact, they sometimes let their friends or colleagues win a game or take credit for something if it's gonna make them happy, because they just don't think it has any significance. Number 7. Sigma males adapt. They're the best natural survivors out of all the mere personality archetypes. For an alpha, when a task gets too complicated or time-consuming, the first thing they think is, whom can I delegate this to? But as a sigma, they think, how can I get this done? It's common for a sigma male to make a bold career shift or travel to a foreign country and thrive in their new position. They see everything as a challenge, and they'd swim oceans and climb mountains to avoid saying, I couldn't get it done. Number 8. Sigma males never give up. Their strength doesn't come from how hard they punch, it comes from how hard they get punched and still make it back to their feet. Think Elon Musk. The man confessed that at some point in his life, he had to borrow money from his friends to cover his family's basic needs, like food and clothes, because he put all his money in Tesla and SpaceX, and neither of them was making a dime back then. Now, he's competing for the spot of the richest man on the planet. Steve Jobs was exited from his own company, which he worked on building for years, and when he came back, he made one of the most successful marketing campaigns in history. This kind of hits would be difficult for an alpha to sustain because they care about their social image, they need to stay on top of the socio-sexual hierarchy, and they need everyone to know they are. So, when something threatens this image, they might just let it go. But sigmas, they don't really care about their social image or about society at all. They do their own thing and kick ass at it, even if everyone tells them they're crazy. Their mindset is, first they will call me crazy, then they will call me a genius. They understand that being called crazy is common when you have a big vision, and they understand that you stand the test of time by being resilient, not by being immune. Number 9. Sigmas work best alone. They have the ability to work in teams and be cooperative, but their finest work comes from alone time. This could be anything from writing, graphic designing, programming, marketing, or even just coming up with ideas in any field. They appreciate quietness and listen within themselves for intuition, and then they follow that intuition. A managerial role would be as good as a sigma male as something in creative design. They're the guy behind the curtains who run everything well away from the spotlight. They're the man who makes the magic happen without revealing any of their tricks. This is why you'll find that many sigma males opt into remote work, freelancing gigs, and making money digitally. However, they can still be very good leaders if they need to be. Number 10. Sigmas hate authority. They won't succumb to your authority just because you have some power to fire them or punish them. In fact, if you try to subdue a sigma male, he will either walk away or even start a rebellion. And they don't do things in a certain way just because this is how everyone does it. They think for themselves and question everything, and they often have very controversial opinions on things that seemingly everybody else agrees on. The fascinating thing is, they're very often right, because most people do things the way they were taught or the way everyone else does it. But sigmas actually put in the time and effort to study, research, and try as many times it takes to figure something out. So their opinion is based on facts and experience, not common knowledge. And even though this can be an advantage in innovation and problem solving, it can be a drawback. Because sometimes you don't really need to reinvent the wheel. If it works, it works. So sigmas often waste a huge amount of time and resources fact-checking for themselves and making sure that everything makes sense according to their own beliefs. If they come up with something new, great, they're geniuses. But if they don't, they've only just wasted time to come to the same conclusion. Thanks for watching.